It's all going on at West Ham, isn't it? Absolutely everything you can imagine is going on. Players are coming through that door. Players are going out the opposite way. West Ham have agreed a deal with Lyon to sign the midfielder Lucas Paqueta for what would be a club record deal. Now, I did bring you a show discussing everything about Lucas Paqueta the other day on the West Ham Daily. Now, he has also been linked to the likes of Arsenal and Newcastle United in recent months, and we have agreed this fee for a club record transfer fee expected to be around £52 million plus some add-ons. Now, West Ham have been locked in discussions with Paqueta's agents and representatives, and after firming up our interest in his services last week, it seems as though his proposed move to West Ham is closer than ever, with him expected, if West Ham can get this done, to try and book him in for a medical at some point today. Now, we'll have to wait and see if that gets done, but West Ham are pushing forward, try and get this medical completed as soon as possible because they will want this deal over the line. Now, like I said, it looks like we're going to pay a fee of around £52 million. And that will eclipse any of the records we've had before. And we paid £45 million, if you remember, for then Eintracht Frankfurt striker Sebastian Haller back in 2019. And this move is expected to go through over the next couple of days. Now, personal terms have been discussed with Paqueta and his representatives, and we understand that there is agreement in place for that deal as well, for a long-term contract, potentially expected to be around 5 years. Other clubs had held earlier talks with Lyon regarding a move for Paqueta, but West Ham have seemingly won the race for his signature, and we are aiming to get this deal over the line as soon as we possibly can. Clubs like Arsenal had been credited with a strong interest in him earlier in the summer window, but did not act in their desire to bring him to the Emirates Stadium. They then went ahead and got Fabio Vieira from Porto back in June. Newcastle were also said to be amongst the clubs to have kept tabs on the Brazilian international, while Tottenham again tentatively linked with a potential move for the Brazilian international. Now, Paqueta chipped in with 6 assists and 9 goals for Lyon over the course of last season, and with his attacking contributions helping the French outfit finish in an 8th place finish in Ligue 1 last year. Now, let's talk a little bit more about what he can offer. He's an elegant attacking midfielder. He's so versatile, and I've seen him playing for Brazil and filling 3 different positions for them, and in the same game reasonably well. He's really an attacking midfielder, but he can also play up front. You can play him as a withdrawn winger, a deeper end midfielder, and although there is a problem there sometimes because he sometimes can give the ball away too close to his own goal because maybe sometimes he likes to showboat, but yeah, what do you think of this guy? Now, I've got some analysis on Paqueta and what he could bring to West Ham, so bear with me here. So this is when he actually played for AC Milan, and you can see that he's got his ability to play progressive passes, and it's exemplified by the image above, which he's playing in a game against Napoli. He's running onto the ball. Now, this is, if you think about it in motion, the game in motion, he is running onto the ball and he quickly plays it over the top. Look at the vision. He sees the run from the player. At that time, it was Paqueta from AC Milan at the time, and they put the ball right onto the player, right in front of the player. So that's him running onto the ball out on the left wing, able to adjust and play an absolutely pin-perfect ball through. Here's another moment as well where Paqueta's ability to navigate out of tight spaces can be seen in the top image. He's surrounded by opposition players, but he pivots using quick feet and plays another progressive pass to his teammates, taking 3 opposition players out of the play. From the top picture, you can see there he's surrounded, and then as a third player comes into the shot, he pivots, turns around, and finds space for that player coming through. When you look at the top picture, you think there's no way he is getting that ball out of that scenario, but he is extremely clever enough to do that, and that's another example of something he can do. Here's an example when he's playing with Brazil. If you look at the top image, look at the amount of players that he has got surrounding him, and you can see now with his ability to penetrate any defense, and in theory, removing 3 or 4 of the opposition players. Look at the top image, the one with the arrow, that is Paqueta on the ball. But what's really interesting is if you look at the top of that image, you actually see, I think it's Richarlison for Brazil making the run. Paqueta, look at that ball. He's just sliced it open like there's no one else there to be seen. And this is the sort of thing that West Ham can do. Progressive passing, slicing open the defences, creating opportunities. Scamacca, Antonio running onto the end of them. Bowen running onto the end of them. Benrahma, Fornals, you name it, running onto the end of those balls. That's what you want from a creative midfielder. And on top of that, this is his heat map for the season before this current season. He is everywhere on the pitch. He is absolutely everywhere. Obviously, he predominantly stays on the right-hand side a little bit more, but he covers all the ground that you want to see from a footballer, especially in a David Moyes regime. What do you think? Leave your comments in the comments section all about Lucas Paqueta. So will we get this deal over the line as soon as we possibly can? Now, next up is someone we spoke about a long time ago, and we are in negotiations to sign a free agent. He's a midfielder, and we will all know him. He's Januzaj. He is Januzaj. Currently, he's a free agent. Like I said, he burst onto the scene with David Moyes back in this 2013, but he struggled to live up to early expectations, but he still did muster up an impressive career. Now, he did follow Moyes to Sunderland in 2016, and after a loan spell at Borussia Dortmund, he then joined Real Sociedad on a permanent basis, and he is a 27-year-old Belgium international. Now, after 44 goal contributions and 160 outings for Real Sociedad, Januzaj is currently a free agent, has been linked to West Ham and a whole host of other Premier League clubs, including Everton this summer, but it looks like we could be in really deep conversations with his agents and the player, who is apparently in London. Now, adding a player of Januzaj's proven top-level caliber to the ranks for no transfer fee is a really bit of a no-brainer, really, particularly given that he's got a bit of a pre-existing relationship with David Moyes. And yeah, so in his recent stats, he scored 5 times and provided 1 assist in 44 appearances in all competitions for Real Sociedad. He won 3.8 duels and successfully completing 1.5 dribbles on average per game for Real Sociedad. And he's capable of operating on either wing and in central areas. So signing Januzaj, who still has a quite high market value for nothing, could be a very good piece of business by West Ham. Leave your comments in the comment section and let me know your genuine, honest feelings about bringing someone like Januzaj into the squad. Squad depth is that exactly what you're looking for, someone with a high caliber that's made a very, very good career out of it. If you haven't already, though, make sure you do subscribe to the channel. Hit that subscribe button, hit the bell notification beside it. That will notify you when our shows do go live. I've got more to talk about, though. I do have more to talk about. Now, whilst we've got, and talking about players potentially incoming, the Dan Chesters has actually headed to League Two side Colchester United on loan for the remainder of this season. The 20-year-old midfielder joined Colchester on loan for the whole and rest of his season after making his debut for West Ham last season. Now, he's got plenty of experience through the youth system at West Ham, playing in the Papa John's Trophy in each of the last 3 seasons, making his first team debut last season, and that was against Genk in the Europa League for David Moyes at the London Stadium. He then came on with a Premier League debut back in March against Liverpool. But he's taken the number 23 shirt at Colchester United, and he's expected to be included in the game later on today against Tranmere Rovers. So all the best to you, Mr. Dan Chesters. Fingers crossed you get a good bit of experience down at League Two and come back fighting stronger for next season. And next is Mipo Odebiku, who has headed to League One side Port Vale for the rest of the season on loan. He is a highly rated up-and-coming striker, and he did spend a lot of his earlier years coming through the academy ranks at Man City and then at Manchester United, representing the under-18 side for the latter twice and scoring once before moving to West Ham in 2019. He has shown for West Ham's under-23 team, making him a name for himself as a prolific goal scorer in Premier League Two, netting 17 goals in 19 games for the side, whilst also notching 11 goals in 9 games for our under-18s. Of course, born in Dublin. He's been involved with West Ham first team matchday squad on 18 occasions, making his debut for us against Stockport County in the FA Cup victory back then. He did also make an appearance for West Ham against Manchester United in the FA Cup as well. We all know how that turned out, which wasn't great. And he spent the first half of last season on loan to Championship team Huddersfield Town. And in January, he did go and spend a stint on loan with Doncaster Rovers, scoring twice and assisting once for them. He's also represented his national team at under 16 level, under 17 and under 21 level, scoring on a second cap for the under 21s in a 3-0 win over Bosnia. He can play the left, right, or down the middle, and he's capable of finding the net with either foot and poses a threat in the air. And he's arriving to Port Vale, having made 54 career appearances, scoring 31 goals and assisting 5. So we've got to wish Mipu Odobiko all the best. Fingers crossed he can make it and can do something for himself, and he can come back and try and prove to the boss what he is capable of doing. Now, last but not least, another piece of business, and that is that West Ham brought Josh Briggs. Now, this one is a bit of a, kind of went under the radar because he's now, he's come out and he's speaking about the fact that he's delighted to be given the opportunity to develop and grow in the Academy of Football. And it was a huge factor for him joining West Ham. Now, he is only 16-year-old, but he has penned a scholarship with West Ham and says the core values of West Ham and the Academy made the decision for him to switch to East London from Belfast. And we know there's a whole host of players coming from Northern Ireland. It's a great achievement to join West Ham, he says, and he's delighted to be here. He is a centre-back, and he said he's very excited to play for the club and the Academy. He's very excited for the season ahead. He said West Ham is a great club. It's a traditional club with family values to the core. Everyone's very supportive of each other here and looks out for each other. There's a high standard across the entire club with some exceptional players, and I'm looking forward to developing here. Briggs is the latest, like I mentioned earlier on, of young talent to join West Ham from Northern Ireland, following in the footsteps of his fellow Academy stars, Michael Forbes, Callum Marshall and Patrick Kelly, who themselves have made the move in recent seasons. And he is relishing his opportunity to be at West Ham as well. And he's as touted of being one of Northern Ireland's brightest young talents. And West Ham are snatching all those talents up as well. Now, he has been involved with West Ham already this summer for the under-18 squad and when they did travel abroad, and he was there and he did impress as well. He said the standard of football here is very high and I'll need to work very hard to get in the team. That's my first target, to earn a place in under-18s. Kevin Keane, who is the under-18s coach, has helped him develop a lot already. He's a very experienced coach, and he's going to be a great person for me to be around the next couple of years. I want to have a good first season, even better, and push for a place in the under-21s for the future as well. So he did link up with the under-18s in a pre-season tournament in the Czech Republic, and he helped the under-19 side win the Premier League Next Generation Cup with a 4-3 win over Crystal Palace and an 8-0 thrashing of Spurs. So there you go. Players in, players out, players here, players there, players bloody everywhere. Only a few days to go now to the transfer window happens. Paqueta potentially coming through the door. Pretty confident that's going to get done. Is Januzaj another player coming in, or who else is coming through that door? It's going to be a whirlwind of emotions over the next few days, but it looks like David Moyes is going to be a busy man. I think he is going to be a busy man. If you're interested in becoming a channel member, hit that join option when you look on the channel as well. And we have a lot of people who watch but haven't subscribed, so please do hit that subscribe button like I did say earlier in the show. Join me later on today for the preview for the Aston Villa game. Obviously, tomorrow we will be doing a match day morning, and we will have a match day live for the game as well. So do join in that. And then we'll have another round and rendition of Holly's show. Tweet all about it. So get yourself involved in that. Good banter as well. Stay safe, everyone. And as usual, we'd like to thank all our members. Take it easy. Come on, your irons.
Once you let it change. It's like a family tree, part of you and part of me.